Hiya friends, Sharon here for the Makers Creative Collab, hosted by PM Artist Studio, and you are here, Texture Junkies. So January is I See, I Create, and it's spelled with an E-Y-E, and it's all about what we might find for the new year, or maybe the visions we have. So I have something fun to share with you that I went way overboard on. Again, I can't help myself. Like, we don't know until we know it's done, right? So I am going to give you a look-see, but first I'd like to say, if this is your first time on the at the Makers Creative Collab, please give some love to the rest of the makers and talented artists that are in this group. We put a lot of work into this, and it's so much fun, and we love sharing with you. There'll be a box at the end of this screen for you to click, and it'll take you to the next showing for the I See, I Create, hosted by PM Artist Studio. All right. I'm going to leave this right here so you remember which one. And we have a different hashtag each month, and it's however we want to read the hashtag. However it works for us. I'm going to check my camera. Looks good. So I'm a lister, like a super lister. Like, I'll write lists on anything. And then I write lists about my lists. And it might be the back of an envelope that's, like came in the mail. It might be just on whatever. Plus I have these notebooks all over the house because I never know where I'm going to be when, lightning strikes, and I have an art seed, which is what I call it, because sometimes we just get seeds and sometimes those seeds sprout. But once we start working on a project, or it works for me like this, then I forget my other seeds sometimes. So I write them all down, whether it's a word or a little picture, or it doesn't matter. It just enough to inspire me to remember what it was that popped up in my brain. So once in a while, I have to go around and gather my notebooks, and I have others too. This is just two I grabbed. So what I did here was I made a vision center, and in my vision center, I used two of the, and I don't have any more to share, but it was the large size chipboard mailers from PM Artist Studio that you get your stencils in. So, with that said, let's move this out of the way. I created this, and it's my vision center. Check the camera again. So, what I did here was I used the two mailers. I folded them in half and put them back to back, and I created a book. So, it's got all the bells and whistles here, but what it is a place for me to write down all my seeds. So I'm going to open this up and share with you what I did. So this is some of that rust-dyed fabric. And here I have this clip for a reason. Let me open this side up too. So the clip goes on here to hold those flaps back if I want. I don't need it that way, but this is at the top. It's obviously a sideways sort of book. But what I did, let me move that over. There we go. Was I put one of my favorite stamps in here, this girl, and I'm going to give you a little close up there. And I gave her a fun little headdress. She's very inspiring to me, and I love creating like headdresses for her. I used a gel print with leaves that I did in the fall. Here I have, this was a bag that somebody gave to me, and I decided to use that for the front. I've got one of those coffee, the foil that comes on your coffee can, and I die cut it and made a metal lock. Incidentally, I don't remember the last time I used silver. I never use silver. I don't know what got into me here. And then here I have my book. So let me move this over. What I have here is a Marta Studio stencil, and this is an envelope just to tuck little notes in. And I filled this thing with pockets too, but I just, you know, wanted to put something there. But everything needed to be relatively flat because when I write in this, I need it to be flat, obviously. Here I used 2 old brads and I glued them inside before I constructed my pockets out of the envelopes. And that way I can refill this. And this is just like sitting on here like that. Just for looks, I guess, to inspire me. I don't know why I like tape measures so much. Here I just have paper that I cut in half and I have a 3-hole punch and I just use that to make it easy for me so when I refill this, I don't have to go and measure anything. And here I used some alcohol ink stencil, Marta Studio stencil, kind of my ghost prints. I thought it was a good way to do that. And here I have my first pocket. And I made this a while back and I decided this was the place for it, but it actually holds that open also if I don't want to use the clip. So I want to share this with you. And it says, everything in the universe is within you. Ask all from yourself. And that's Rumi. And this is my favorite Marta Studio stencil. That's an image from a book. And I really, really like this. Recycled mailer. All right, so let's close this up this way. And we're going to flip to the other side. Here I have seeds. And I call them art seeds because, you know, sometimes they sprout, sometimes they don't, and they're just like pops of inspiration. And I managed to find this in an old 1972 magazine. And it was a miracle because it was perfect for this. These are Marta Studio stencils on a gel print. I used wallpaper here that I got from Lisa because it's nice and soft and pliable. So I just put the gel prints on the other side of the wallpaper. Isn't that beautiful? There's another one of those. And then this one opens this way. And here we go. So there, I know this is a lot to get on camera. I'm sorry. I almost feel like I need to stand up to do this. So there we have the Mona Lisa. I have this that actually just comes out. And all I used was a lot of scraps for this. Mailing stuff, recycling materials. That's just another one of those. The gel print. And then it's just a flap to hold that. But I put this here to show that it's also a place to tuck little lists and stuff because I gather those lists and they need to go someplace sometimes before I write them down. And here I made 2 pockets. Stencils, alcohol ink, mostly ghost prints from the gel plate. And there's my bird that I put on everything. A bird somewhere, anywhere. Back. These are nice pockets. They'll hold a lot. I did not get as much space in my middle pockets. I added a little charm there. And then let's close this up and let me share the rest. So that's the front right there. Now, I doubled down on the vision center here, and I've got all these girls peeking out at me, and I just love them. But there's a reason. It's to differentiate all the different pockets that I have here, and they may all stay in here and they may not. But there's 5 pockets in the center the way I put it together. Here I have a little hand charm that I love so much. I love it. And I left myself some doodling opportunities here. Like on her. I'm going to leave her out so I can share. And then I have her. I love her. She also has a charm, and there's another bird. That's a piece of old silk necktie, which are really fun to work with. And I made it look like she was holding this. Doodle opportunities. And then here I have a little book. So scratch down whatever. And it's just like my rip strips that I make, but they're blanks. And then she's my favorite. So she's my writing board. She's really thick. And it would go this way, obviously. But that's in case I need a harder space than I have. And it's all pieces from magazines and old books and some collage with whites. There's the back. I really liked making this project. I really got into it and I really kept adding. Do you ever feel like you just are adding and adding and adding and you just don't feel like it's done yet? It needs something else, right? This is awful cute too. It's a little spoon with it's like a scepter almost. It's really fun. So check out the other fun designers in the hop. It's like an art show, guys, so go check it out. There'll also be a list underneath, and you can also search the hashtag ICICreate. You guys have a wonderful day, and I hope you enjoy the hop and follow along. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.